Good afternoon, everyone, or good morning or evening, depending on where you are. Thanks for joining us again for another one of our webinars. This time it's about the proficiency badges for energy and resource system modeling. So, a few of my colleagues here to discuss what exactly these badges are, how you can get them, and sort of what they mean, and what you'll be able to do with them. So, we've got Leigh here from Loughborough University. We have Ashutosh from Open University, and we also have Rudolph from CCG. And then myself, if you don't know me yet, you probably have seen me multiple times, but I'm Kane Alexander from Imperial College. So, firstly, we'll have Leigh do a short presentation introducing the badges. Then we'll sort of have Ashutosh give you a bit more insight into the Open University side of how it works. And then we'll have plenty of time for question and answer following on from that. So, as I said previously, please use the chat, please use the Q&A. And also, if you're watching this as a recording, feel free to drop a comment on the YouTube section if you have any questions, and I'll try to check them at a later date. So, yeah, thank you for joining, and I'll hand over to Leigh.
Hello, great to have everyone here. So today I'm going to introduce to you all what we mean by the proficiency badges for energy and resource modeling tools. So yes, as Kane mentioned, I'm Leigh. I'm based at Imperial in Loughborough. I'm doing this project, doing this badge project as part of my role at Reintegrate. We've got Ash here with us, who's with Open Learn, and also Rudolph from CCG. So first off, just to explain what I mean by badge. Okay, so this badge scheme is part of what LinkedIn do. So this badge thing is, for your LinkedIn profile. Okay. So at the moment, currently, the Open Learn, Open University have a scheme where if you do one of their courses online, after completing that course, some of them allow you to get a digital badge, which then can be added to your LinkedIn profile underneath your certification aspect. So that bottom left image there just shows where the badge goes on your LinkedIn profile. And if you click on that badge, you'll be given a description of the wider meaning behind that badge. That's the bottom right image there. So the example here is multidisciplinary study. And as you can see, there's more detail of what it is. So basically, the modeling badges, we're going to use this this platform that's already been established between Open Learn and LinkedIn, but also add in the sort of badge scheme for modeling tools. Okay, and that's just useful for boosting your profile on LinkedIn, making these connections, and highlighting your experience in education in another way. Okay, so that's what I mean by badge. Okay, so what do I mean by specifically an energy and resource modeling badge? Okay, so what we've designed here is a tiered skill badge system. We have bronze, silver, and gold, and also 2 instructor badges. Okay, to demonstrate your ability to teach these tools, capacity building exercises, that sort of thing. Okay, initially we only have badges for 2 modeling tools, osmosis and clues. Okay, so what we're going to launch, this month is just simply for osmosis and clues. However, the plan is to expand this to other modeling tools in the future. So if you're an onset modeler, a MAID modeler, FinPlan, the expectation is we will be adding this as well to the badge scheme. Okay, I'll put a link to the concept note in the chat at the end of this. And also if you're on YouTube, you can add that link as well underneath the video. And that will give you a detailed breakdown specifically of what this badge scheme is and what the badges mean. So why is it worth having one of these badges? Why have we designed this scheme? What is the use of it? Well, one reason is so it can have a standardized recognition of modeling skill across different institutions and across different tools. So basically, it's a way of quickly identifying, what somebody's level is in a particular modeling tool, very quickly. And that could be useful for employers and people applying for jobs in this space. This is a quick kind of reference tool to, your level of experience and ability in a specific modeling tool. Okay. And that also lends itself to a clear pathway for development. If you've got a bronze badge, but you want to go in deeper and going further, there's a clear way that maps that out of how you can do that. Okay. So yeah, I guess ultimately it's a way to encourage and push people to develop further in their chosen modeling tool. Okay, so they can get the most out of these skills that they are developing. And I guess this is not only just about encouraging, continued learning in your particular skill, but it kind of feeds into the wider community of modeling, okay? Energy and resource system modeling. So yeah, the expectation here is a lot of synergy here with the community initiative that Kane is pushing forward. There's a lot of overlap between these badges and sort of wider community kind of development going on. So for example, there might be a peer network, you might have gold badge people, aiding silver and bronze badge holders. If you go for these meetings, you go, oh, I've got a bronze badge, you've got a silver badge. Okay, how did you get your silver badge? What's the best way? It's developing that sort of community and yeah, just kind of developing and getting a more cohesive community around these tools, and it's just another mechanism or means to enable that. Okay, and again, yes, also hopefully the idea for the future is that we have more modeling tools. So like a bronze in osmosis can be kind of similar to a bronze in clues, which can be similar to a bronze in onset. It's a way of kind of incorporating things under a single kind of framework to sort of test skills and abilities. And of course, you can have more than one badge and one tool as well. Okay, so hopefully that's convinced you all to apply at some point for a badge. Okay, so now I'm just going to detail specifically what I mean by bronze, silver, and gold when it comes to these badges. Okay, so the example I'm going to base it around is osmosis, as that's probably the most popular tool at the moment. So energy modeling. So great, yes. So what are the key kind of skills we're looking for in a bronze osmosis modeler? Okay, so that's basically understanding the core principles of energy system modeling, maybe at a national scale, having the ability to sort of create models and then run them. You're able to have some sort of basic debugging skill. You can fix models that don't work. You've also got the ability to kind of understand the results from a model and therefore compare it across different model runs, different scenarios. You have a kind of initial understanding of what you're looking for. And also the next step as well, looking at how these results, how they could be useful, perhaps for a policy making scenario. So the first kind of making those first initial connections between your modeling results and what they could mean for real life policy. And also having an awareness of what the limitations are in your data and in your modeling results. Okay. So how would you evidence this? How would you show you've achieved this for your bronze badge? Well, in the application process, which Ash will detail later, you will have to upload evidence so you can get your badge. Okay, so for the bronze badge, you need to demonstrate that you've been to a training course, an in-person training course. So typically, this could be something like EMPA or EMP-LAC, the summer schools that CCG host. But it doesn't have to be a CCG based event. It could be any capacity building event where you've had in-person training, okay? And from that event, you developed a kind of policy report, some sort of output that demonstrates that you've obtained these skills I've just mentioned, okay? It doesn't have to be an official capacity building event as well. If you're a master's student, for example, you've done a module in osmosis, then a certificate from that would also suffice. Okay, so there's flexibility here. Okay, the key thing is to have some sort of in-person training that's enabled you to create an output that demonstrates these skills. Okay, so what is the next level up from bronze? Okay, so silver, again, similar skills, but literally just the sort of the next level above. Okay, your models are a little bit more complex. Your ability to debug is that much more refined. You're able to be a lot more critical in your analysis of scenario results. Being able to develop, more concise, more specific, more detailed reports based on your modeling skills. And also show a little bit of ability to be able to adapt different models to different contexts, okay? Using the same model, but perhaps for a regional model, a different type of country. So yeah, that gives basically the next sort of level in modeling, okay? And the required evidence kind of reflects this, okay? So to try and make these badges, accessible to all types of people from all walks of life, there's a bit of a broader kind of possibility to get in the silver, okay? Perhaps you've got a very detailed master's thesis, a dissertation that uses osmosis. That could be one piece of evidence. Or maybe you've got a peer-reviewed paper that uses osmosis in an applied case study, or perhaps some sort of white paper, published report, etc., that also uses osmosis. And also some sort of letter of reference, okay, from either an academic or project supervisor. Okay. But all these details will be, when you're applying for your badge, you'll be able to see clearly what is required and what is needed. Okay. Gold, slightly different. This is really where we're getting more specialized. These are like the sort of really expertise. You're really demonstrating a particular skill level and expertise. You've got a lot of experience. You've got at least 5 years experience. I didn't mention that in the other badges, but yeah, we're looking at least 2 years experience for silver, 5 years for gold. Yes, and that's often, we're looking at maybe people who've got a PhD or they've been working in the industry for 5-7 years. Okay, so the type of skills required here, obviously being able to complete the silver requirements to a good level, depth, mastery, but also 2 particular high-level skills. So I've got 4 listed here. So for gold, you need to demonstrate 2 of them. Okay, so an example of creating innovative improvements in a modeling technique, for example, or being able to manage a kind of a project, maybe high-level energy resource model that's very much connected to solving a particular specific critical real-world energy resource type issue. Actually, a practical experience of translating, complex modeling results to policy people, making clear recommendations for senior decision makers. So that's another kind of key skill you can demonstrate. And the idea here is that you submit your CV, detailing your experience in the field, and perhaps have a peer-reviewed paper that demonstrates your ability in those skills mentioned. Okay. So that's just a quick summary of what all the kind of levels, the badges pertain and the requirements to get them. We are undergoing a kind of trial period at the moment with clues and osmosis. So there could be tweaks and adjustments to this moving forward, depending on the initial feedback from this badge scheme. So in addition to proficiency to skill level with modeling tools, we've also got 2 additional badges relating to being instructors or trainers in these tools. Okay, so kind of capacity building type badges. Okay, I don't have the design for them yet. I'm not sure if they're complete, but we will have 2 nice shiny badges for these positions, for these particular badges. Again, I've got a list of skills and the requirements for them. So associate instructor is looking at about 40 training hours where you've been assisting perhaps a lead instructor. So maybe you've been helping out at one of these energy modeling platform events as a supporting instructor. But it's also required, get a bit of an evaluation from the lead instructor and also maybe evidence of you taking one session by yourself. So perhaps an evidence of a lesson plan that you've done. And that will get you your associate instructor badge. Lead instructor, obviously, again, is sort of next level up. So this is somebody who can design an entire track from a modeling tool for an EMP event, for example, or perhaps they've got their own module at university and they teach the tool that way. Again, so you've got to demonstrate your ability to create an entire module or curriculum for a modeling tool, a syllabus, for example, assessments, and also a kind of brief teaching philosophy, which kind of outlines how you teach, your method of teaching and how you adapt that to different audiences, different contexts as well. Okay, so that's a lead instructor badge, and it can be used. Again, it's just an identifier for your level of ability in this capacity building space that we're in. Great. So a bit more on the practicalities of how this actually works, or how it's validated. So the idea is to make this a community-based project. Okay, and so that's why the awarding of the badges will be based on the peer review process. Okay, so if you've got a gold badge, you can validate silver badge applications. If you've got a silver badge, you can evaluate bronze applications. Okay, that's kind of a way of having an internal community sort of led process, and hopefully keep it, credible and professional. The awarding of badges. Okay, and also this links again to this idea of community building as well. This idea of knowledge transfer between different levels. And hopefully this can create a supportive environment where established members can also then help future experts. Okay, so initially to get the scheme going, we need to have some people already established as badge holders, what we're calling inaugural badge holders. Okay, just to get the scheme up and running. So key members of the clues and osmosis kind of modeling space who have been in the community for a long time, they will be given inaugural badges, so they're able to peer view new people who apply to the badge scheme. Okay, and to keep this all transparent and clear and fair, a list of these badge members, these inaugural badge members, will be made available and accessible on a public Zenodo document, so you can see who is initially validating the badges and what their kind of CV or what their kind of background is, which kind of links to the requirements of the badges, just to make that sort of clear and completely transparent. But yes, as new members get badges, you also will have the option of also being able to validate future applicants. And that's part of the ecosystem we've got to create. Whilst this is initially a project of reintegrating CCG, this is really just to get it going. Reintegrating CCG might not last forever. So the idea is that it becomes a completely community-run system of operation. Great. And now just a sort of last slide about future plans. As I've just mentioned, we want it to be self-sufficient beyond CCG and reintegrate ultimately in the future. And to do this, we want to establish partnerships with other universities and institutions. As I mentioned, additional modeling tools. Perhaps also conferences and workshops where gold badge candidates can present their work. Again, this is linked to the initiative that Kane's driving with the energy communities. So again, there's connections here we can do and make, especially with the mentorship program as well, where we can sort of have gold, silver badge holders, link with bronze holders, and giving them advice and notes on how to kind of progress in their energy modeling tool. So great, that is kind of the badge scheme in a nutshell. There's a more detailed concept note out there on Zenodo, which will kind of really unpack the different level differentials if you're interested to know that. But yeah, so practically, how do you get the badge? I'm going to hand over to Ash, who will show us the steps you need to do on OpenLearn to get the actual digital badge on your LinkedIn profile. So I'll hand it over to Ash. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leigh, for the overview. I'm going to talk a bit about how can you actually go about applying for the badge, and what are the then processes that take after you have applied and then until you receive. So just have got a 5-pointer. I'm going to share my screen now. Yeah, so hello everybody again. Excited to tell you about badges. Um, so this is from the perspective of learner, which most of us are here. So what happens from a learner perspective is the first thing that one needs to do is go onto the OpenLearn Create and enroll. I'm going to be showing you all these steps when I go on the actual OpenLearn page, but this is just to give a sort of brief intro. So the first step is again to create an account on the OpenLearn Create and enroll onto the respective badge. So in this case, most of I think is going to be either bronze or silver. In the next step, when the user goes onto the badge page, then they'll be asked to upload the required evidence. In this case, it could be the case of uploading a paper or applying or a certificate for attending in-person event. This can be in any format, PDF, JPEG, any kind of URL. If you have a link where you have stored your data, that's fine. Or any other attachment is also okay. The next step, what happens is whatever evidence you have uploaded as a learner, it will be checked over by teacher. If the teacher grades it satisfactory, you will immediately get the notification of success, and badge will also be sent to your email address. In the fourth step, you have to do something, a little step called making your badge public, because by default, in most cases, the badge will be private. So if you want to show your badges to everybody, you want to go there and make it public. And in the final stage, you can go on, you can show this badge on LinkedIn or any other platform. In this case, I'm going to show how to do it on LinkedIn. So now let's go over to the actual OpenLearn page. So sorry, here we are. Okay. So this is the OpenLearn Create page. So if you don't know how to get here, just type OpenLearn Create, search. Sorry, not again. Let's do that again. Yeah, OpenLearn Create. And that's the first link that pops up. Go here. In this case, I'm signed in, so I'm going to sign out now first. Yeah, okay. And now you go into this sign up or sign in, and you create an account. So this is again, it's showing me because I have already logged in now. But anyway, so this is the first step that you need to be doing. Once you have done, now you have registered onto the OpenLearn. And the next step, what you do is you go onto the CCG page where all the courses are listed. So I'm going to do that by typing CCG OpenLearn this way. And the first link is here. And now, please go on to this climate compatible growth proficiency badges. And please do not confuse it with the other one. So please visit here. And I'm going to show you example of how do I, let's say, apply for a bronze proficiency badge for clues. So I'm going to enter this competition. So again, it's asking me to sign up. Okay, I'm going to sign in now. Okay, so here I am. So the first thing you should do here once you go onto this page is enroll. So now you are enrolling for this clues badge proficiency page. Now you have got all the things which some of which this Leigh just talked about, what the badges framework is, what the idea is. And also for this particular badge, what are the learning outcomes? Or in other words, what is like the requirement for getting this badge? As you scroll down below, this is where you should click Clues Bronze Proficiency Badge. And here again, the criteria is listed. So we have got two, like the user or learner will get a badge if the submission meets these two criteria. And in all the cases, evidence required is clearly listed. So in this case, it is uploading evidence, attending in-person training event, and providing general links for materials. So I think it is showing my earlier submission. So I'm going to remove a submission. Sorry about that. Okay. Okay. So here it allows me to do a fresh submission. So if you click on add submission, this is where you are applying for badges. So here you can type in, if you want to type any personal statement or anything about you that you think that helps your application, you can type it here. And the two sort of required documents that have been asked, you have a space to upload it here. You can type up to 20. There's no problem. And once you have done that, you should save changes. Okay, nothing was submitted. Let's try something dummy. I'm going to try uploading the CV. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Once it's done that, you should submit the assignment. I'm not going to do that now here, but you should submit the assignment, and that's where your job when you're applying is complete. After that, what happens is the teacher will grade your application, and if it is successful, you will get an emails which looks something similar to this. So congratulations, you have just obtained a badge, something. It will have some description and badge image as well. So congratulations, you have got the badge now. So the next step you should be doing is go to the My Profile. So this is the thing. If you log into this page, you will see in the right upper corner. Go to My Profile. Go to My Badges here, and then make sure that it is public. Because if it is private, you won't be able to show this, or other people won't be able to click on the link for this page. So make sure this is public. And once this is done, it's very easy to share it on the link. So go here, over here. You should see a link sort of popping up for LinkedIn here. So click simply there, and then you can start typing in like whatever badge you have just obtained. So this I have created a dummy profile here. So in this case, it could be, let's say osmosis bronze proficiency. It could be Open University. Now the badge in the bronze, it's valid for 2 years. So it can have issue date and expiry date. Let's say I'm going to select January 2025. So let's say January 2027. So yeah, here we are. Credentials we don't have for the badges. The URL here, you can use the link from the profile. Sorry, here, this. And once it is public, and if the link is here, I'm going to put it here now. So people will be able to go and then check like you have really obtained a badge. And finally, you can add this media, and you can add a media here, and then you can basically upload the image of an image. Let's say it's bronze in this case, and then apply. Yeah, and you are set. You should see the badge somewhere here, license and certification. So I've got bronze and bronze again. So anyway, but this is just an idea as to with the LinkedIn at least how can you show your badge. There may be others that you can use, of course, but yeah, I think I will stop there and happy to answer any questions. Thank you.
Great. Yeah, thank you very much, Leigh, and thank you very much, Ash. I think both given good overview there of what the badges are and sort of how people can apply. And yeah, I think it's a really great initiative, and it's something that I'm sure lots of people will benefit from, particularly to sort of have some proof to exactly say on your CV, proving that you can do a certain level of modeling will be very useful for some people. So I'm very much on board with this. So if anyone does have any questions, please use the chat, use the Q&A, or you can also just raise your hand and I can allow you to talk. So yeah, the floor is open to everyone. So yeah, please fire some questions through any specific ones you have. I think both of you are very concise with what you said, so I'm not sure there'll be many questions today, but if anyone does, then now's the time. So I'll just leave the floor open for a few moments, and if there aren't any questions, then the three of us can wrap up. But yeah, we'll just leave the floor open for a few seconds. So there is one in the chat. I think maybe if Leigh or Ash, can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see. Maybe Leigh, you want to take this one?
Yes, no problem. That's actually a very good question, and one we did think about when designing the badge scheme. But no, we haven't made it a requirement to have a previous badge to get the next badge. It is possible. If you meet the skill level, you can go straight to the recommended badge.
Great. Yeah, thank you both for that. But yeah, feel free. If either of you have any more points as well you'd like to make before we close, while there's a bit of silence, then feel free to come in.
I've just posted the concept note in the chat for a more detailed breakdown of the badges and their levels for anyone who wants to check it out. The concept note will be updated by the end of this month as well with the inaugural badge holders. So it's not the final version of the note.
Those for anybody watching on the recording, the link to the badges and the concept note will also be provided in the description of the video. So if you're wanting to look at the slides, share them around, or read the concept note, you can get those in the description. But for the people in the call now, you should be able to access what I've just sent to you.
Just a thought as well.
Yeah, cool.
Feel free to share the slides, the concept notes to anyone you might think would be interested in this. Maybe you've got friends who couldn't make it to this date and time. So yeah, we really appreciate it if yeah, you could share this to people who would be interested. That'd be very, very thankful.
Okay, we'll give it just 2 more minutes, and then yeah, 2 more minutes, and then we can see. There's another question. I think if one of you guys would like to answer that.
Yes, another good question. No, you need more than just the Open University certificate. This is a level beyond the Open Learn course to get bronze. So yes, you do need like an output, a report from a capacity building event, demonstrating the practical skills with modeling. But yes, thank you for the question. Again, thank you for that latest question. Well, there's two there, so I'll answer them both. Yes, regarding the gold badge, yes, so if you look at the detailed, I haven't put all the details in the slides about how you can apply for a badge, but there is some flexibility. You don't necessarily need a peer-reviewed paper. Perhaps some sort of conference proceedings or documentation. I guess the important thing for the gold is, a detailed CV, recommendation from a reference letter maybe. But yes, yeah, I mean, documents that can kind of demonstrate that higher kind of level. So if you've got any other ideas for us as well, please let us know. But really, the gold badge is for the high level. Perhaps if you're maybe running projects within major institutions, that could also be evidence. Anybody can apply for the badges. There's no restrictions on who can apply. If you meet the requirements, you can apply, essentially. So there are no limitations. You don't have to have done the Open Learn course, for example. If you meet the requirements without a certificate from the Open Learn course, that's fine.
I just wanted to add one more thing, actually. Just thought from one of the comments that I have seen on the chat that target public is academic. I would also say that it's extremely useful for anybody who is job hunting. That's I think another huge benefit I can see from the badges. So if you're a fresh graduate looking for potential employers, I think you can have something nice to demonstrate, and they can verify on OpenLearn as well. So there you go. It's not just for academics; it's for everybody.
And can I just add on to that as well? Yeah, I mean, the skill in modeling tools, translates. It's a very much transferable skill. This is what I tell my students at university. the kind of workflow process of finding data, formatting it in a certain way, doing something useful with it, then creating graphs with it to then link to policy. That whole workflow is very, very useful across many jobs. Maybe you're not using the data, maybe you're not modeling or running the data through an optimization platform, but you're inevitably going to be managing a large database of data, finding data, formatting it slightly so it works. That whole process is useful. So the badges kind of demonstrate that ability to do that kind of process from finding data, managing data, visualizing that data, creating visualizations, and then policy recommendations. That whole flow is very transferable skill across a lot of industries.
Okay. I can see that Rudolph's rejoined. So Rudolph, if you do have anything you wanted to add before we close, then feel free. But if not, I think we can close it there.
Thanks for passing the floor, Kane. Hello, everyone. Just a few words from me, nothing too much, because Leigh and Ash did a great job of explaining how things will work. So with the badges, essentially, we're just keen to ensure that you guys can represent what you've achieved in a more open manner. And, living in a world right now dominated by LinkedIn and other such social platforms, we think that this would be very useful. Again, if you have any questions in terms of how to obtain the badges, what needs to be done, please do not hesitate to reach out to us, and be advised that for other colleagues who are interested in badges and other tools, this will become available soon as well, as we'll be expanding from Osmosis and Clues to the other ones. So once again, any questions, please let us know. And thank you, Leigh. Thank you, Ash, very much for doing a very good job of presenting of how this will work. And yeah, looking forward to these being uptaken by the participants.
Yeah, thank you very much, Rudolph. And yeah, thank you, Leigh. Thank you, Ash, for the presentation, and thank you everyone for joining. And thanks to the guys watching online. And generally speaking, in terms of the energy modeling community that Leigh mentioned previously, watch this space. The community is going nowhere. We're certainly going to keep trying with these webinars and different sorts of sessions that we can offer you. So yeah, certainly keep watching on. There's another question that just came in the group chat, and I think it's important if we answer that before we close. But yeah, thank you everyone. If Leigh or Ash could answer that.
Answer is yes. It's only for English currently.
But Frederick, we will be expanding it to other versions of the course as well as we expand the badges, right? So right now we just started with 2. Let's get all of the main tools in English sorted out, and then we'll be moving on to other languages.
Great. Yeah. Thank you both. So yeah, I hope everyone else had a good rest of the week, and thanks for joining. See you later.